Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways. My name's Big Six Simpson, and it's time for the road test of the Prado. You've seen how it does off-road. Let's see how it does on-road on the smooth stuff, where, let's be honest, this car's going to spend at least 95% of its time, if not 100% of the time, for some of the housewives to just buy it for the space and the safety and the comfort. You want to know how it does on the smooth stuff. Driving out through the heart of Constantia. This is the sort of area where people will be buying this particular truck. Well-heeled people with lots of cash. This is coming in at over 1 million rand, which is quite a bit of time for a car, but it's my favorite car in the world. If you had to give me a blank check, I'd get this car. My only gripe is they don't have an option of the V8 D4D in this thing. I think if they had that, it would just smash. Because some people are a little bit turned off by the 2.8 litre engine in such a big car. I must say it's adequately powered. You put the boot in, and it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. You got various modes. You got economic, normal, and then you got Sport Plus, where you can winds everything up. There you go. Beautiful. Great turning circle on this car. That was actually the first thing that impressed me on this car was the turning circle. I like the looks. The 200's a little bit boxy and it looks like a bit of a whale. I mean, I'm being a bit critical, but I prefer the front end of this to the 200, and the 200 is a little bit bigger. So the 200 for somebody that's going to be towing a really big trailer and needs that extra power. But I think if you offered the V8 in this, the 200 would suffer, which is probably why they differentiate. The Prado's never had more than a 3 litre diesel in it. And the biggest petrol engine it's had was the V6, the 4 litre V6, which Rhino 1 drives. He raves about that engine. One of the best petrol engines ever made. You can crank out over 200 kilowatts. And Rhino 1 was saying that he did notice a difference in the performance, but I'm sure he would notice a difference in fuel economy as well. Averaging 10.2 now. If you drive sensibly on the highway, you can get it under 9 litres per 100, which is very reasonable for a car like this. Cornering at first feels a little bit wallowy, but once you get used to it, it works really nicely. I like a car with a bit of body roll and clearance. You know, you feel like you're actually driving the truck as opposed to it driving you. Give it a bit of wheelie around the corner here. See, once you get the hang of it, it actually sits. I mean, you could make the case for it, unless you're actually towing big trailers, you don't need the V8 D4D. It's actually just massaging your ego. Trying to make up for something. So I think Toyota's done the sensible thing. Yeah, it just would be nice to have the option, 2 options, you know, actually 3 options. I'd like to see the 4 litre back in here. This 2.8 is a great engine, and the D4D, the single turbo. You put the double turbo in the 200, so that there is some kudos to get in the 200 if you want that extra power. And let's get it on. I think this would be fantastic for overlanding. The build quality feels phenomenal. Off-road, exceptional. I took it to Elgin 4x4 yesterday and only had to put the center diff lock on once. And most of the time I could sail around here just in the normal mode, which is just a normal 4-wheel drive. Exceptional off-road, great clearance, got batch plates at the bottom. Extremely comfortable. It's the first car the kids have said, I said, you guys want to go to the close off-road track or the farther one? I said, you can go wherever you want, Dad. Now, normally they're like, let's go, are we there yet? But the back of the car is just such a lovely place to be. Kids really love it. In terms of technology, you got all the latest stuff in here. You got a great active cruise control that works extremely well. Nice sort of aircraft Spitfire-ish style buttons. The buttons feel really well made. Old Andrew Fish, rest in peace, he always used to say, you can tell a lot about a car from the quality of the buttons and hi-fis. And this, everything feels well made and it's built to last. So they haven't gone away from that Land Cruiser heritage, thankfully. So what's this up against, ladies and gentlemen? The XC90, the new Discovery, the new Defender. Both of those are very luxurious, but questionable reliability. I have heard that Volvo reliability has improved since the Chinese got involved in 2012, I think it is. But it really doesn't have the off-road ability of this. The Defender similarly matched off-road, but the reliability of the Defender is always going to be in the back of your mind. And then you got your Q7s, your luxury German cars, the big MuX. Once again, extremely luxurious, great status symbols, but in terms of off-road ability, would be lagging behind, and reliability, you could also say it's not quite on the same level. You could say this is the complete package. Luxury, adequate performance, safety, and off-road ability, and very comfortable on-road. And if you're not driving like a Wally economical, this would be great. And a big 150 litre tank, so you fill up once, you could literally drive to Johannesburg on one tank in this car, which is fantastic for overlanding. For overlanding, you don't actually need to do much to this at all to be ready for the bush. It's got the fuel tank capacity already. You put all-terrain tires on and some sliders in the back and a fridge and maybe a rooftop tent. But remember to get your weight right. You don't want to do a Ronnie Dahl there and get it all Pete Tong. But anyway, it's definitely got a lot of ability as a serious overlander. For somebody that's going to do a lot of grade 5 off-road, you might want to look at a solid front axle. But if you're looking at touring and medium off-roading, this is the ideal car for you. And with these Land Cruisers, they hold their value so well. Look at the Prado 90 is, a lot of these cars you don't really lose much buying and selling 5-10 years later. So for me, this is the ultimate 7-seater. I've driven the Ford Everest, the MuX, which are both really good trucks, but this just goes up another level. Off-road, it's just up another level. The luxury is up another level. The ride quality is up another level. I do like the engine on the Isuzu MuX. It's very, very strong. Tried and tested. This 2.8 is still relatively new. So the jury's out. In terms of the Everest, you got the new bi-turbo, which performs well. I'm just not a big fan of small engines and big bi-turbos. The Everest and the 3.2, that's a really tasty car, but in terms of reliability, you're going to struggle to keep up with this car and the Isuzu. I'd say they're the flag bearers for reliability in the 7-seater category. So I've taken this off-roading to Atlantis and it performed fantastically. Just floated over the sand dunes at 1 bar. And then it took it to Elgin 4x4 yesterday and it just performed like a bomb. There's nothing really I don't like about this car, and you can't really say that about too many cars. The color's cool, the styling's cool. I like this little scoop on the front of the bonnet. It's an eye-catching car, but without being over the top. It does everything well. And here we are on the highway, we're coming up to speed. Very, very quiet in here. Ideal for cruising. You can just amber along here at 100, 120. And you're barely breaking 1,500 revs with this engine. You got the lane assist where it tells you if something's coming up on you. The thing that I like about this car is it's not a nanny state. It doesn't beep at you the whole time. I'm not going to mention names, but some of the other cars, they just beep, beep, beep. This is not a beeper. This actually says if you bought a Land Cruiser, you already have a brain and you're already smart. So we're not going to belittle you the whole time. It's got good tech. It's not nanny state tech. It's quite fun tech, to be honest. And then when you want to put the boots in, it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. So all in all, nothing really to falter. You cannot go wrong getting one of these, even if you're not into off-road. A great family vehicle, very comfortable, economical, well laid out buttons, safe, loads of space for the kids. You can tow a trailer, you can tow a caravan, you can tow a boat with this, no problem whatsoever. And then when you want to put the boots in, it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it's fast enough. I've never driven this thing and thought, whoa, I wish I had more power. You just don't get that on this car. And then in through the corner with the plum, and then oh, there goes my camera bag. But you see, it just darts in and out. Once you get used to the body roll, it's such a fun car to drive. I think that sums this thing up. It's just fun. I've never seen anybody driving a Land Cruiser without a smile on their face. So that just tells you everything you need to know about owning a Land Cruiser. Let's see what we can do here. Open her up. It's 80. Just flies through the gears. What a pleasure. So we've had a busy time on Africa Sideways. We've had the Thunder, and now we've had the Prado. We're going to have a little break for a few weeks. It's time to have a little chat to Paul Marsh, I think, so I'll be getting hold of him and I'm going to shoot some more content. And I'm going to do my all-terrain tire shootout for 2021 and a few other little bits and pieces. So keep them peeled, and we'll catch you next time on Africa Sideways. Peace. Cabin is space inside the 150. Quite similar size to the 120, which is all you really need for a 7-seater. Although having said that, with the back seats up, there's not really much space here, so I think if you've got a lot of kids, you'd have a little trailer to carry your stuff, and then you can, these are automatically, the car's not on, automatically powered seats at the back, power seats, very, very easy. I was trying to work out how it all worked, but it was actually just a power seat. You live and learn, extremely comfortable in here. They have tried to go for quite a few gadgets on the dashboard, which I'm not really a big fan of, but in the modern age, a lot of people want kind of bells and whistles. Get in the shot, dude. It's got everything. It's got heated seats. You name it, it's got it. And it's got the fun factor here. Let's put it into the corner here. Whoa, there goes the camera bag. It is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Just goes and goes and goes. Brakes are also exceptional. And then we can just put it through the little tight no tire squeal, no nothing. It's just good value, as you'd expect from a Land Cruiser. Oh, I love that turbo reverb. It's the little things in life. And then around this tight hairpin. Whoa! That was a camera bag. A little bit of tire squeal, but it holds its line. It doesn't understeer or oversteer or go into the bushes. It's really an impressive piece of kit, ladies and gentlemen. Highly recommended. And for the first time in a long time, the new Land Cruiser Prado gets 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. I could recommend my brother to buy this, your parents, you know. It's something you can recommend with confidence. And it's also the type of car, it gets you out into nature. Take your kids into nature, let them get into wheeling, into the appreciation of the finer wildlife, and you'll open yourself up to a whole new lifestyle, which only a proper four-wheel drive with low range, rear diff, center diff, this car has got everything an off-roader could ever want, anything anybody could ever want. Go get one.